your internet marketing questions answered.
Hello, good morning. Frank Bauer here, and let's get started with today's marketing meetup. I have to admit, this one was a little bit of a last-minute job. I almost managed to be too late to my own marketing meetup here, but I got here, and I'm just finishing up the last couple touches, because in today's marketing meetup, we're gonna cover a brand new site that I have been working on for quite a while, and that is also the main reason that I'm almost too late here. Let me just pause my video here on some of my pages so don't get any further echoes, and then we can get started with this. Okay, let me just quickly put in the text chat. Welcome to the marketing meetup. Okay, here we go. And I misspelled it. Well, good enough. But okay, so let's get started. I see there's nobody on there yet because I just sent the mailing to you guys out, I mean, literally speaking 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago. And obviously it will take some time for people to show up, which is okay. Actually, there's somebody already on the marketing meetup. Hey, David, welcome to the marketing meetup. Oh, you were fast. Okay, so let's get started. Today's topic: what is Jollow all about, and what is that about my little email subject there? You know, live in 5. Actually, it's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing. It's two things. I'm live in 5. Not only the marketing meetup is going to be live in 5 minutes, but I actually plan also to get Jollow.com ready to be live in roughly about 5 days, I would say. And let me just, instead of just telling you about what Jollow is, let me show you at the same time, because that's going to be a lot easier. So I'm going to switch over here to my webcam, or actually not to the webcam. I can switch over to my screen share, and then I'll show you what what the Jollow website is all about. Just a second here. Let me just quickly check in screen share. Here we go, and we're gonna screen share this. Here we go, and I probably have to stretch it out a little bit so it looks a bit more, yeah, roughly like this. That should be fine. Okay, so let's dive right into this marketing meetup, introducing the brand new Jollow.com site. That's a site actually I've been working together with 2 of my business partners on. The idea originally comes from Matt Koshko and also Darren Olander's involved in this project. And you might know those 2 from sites like, for example, ListJumper or ListSurfing, etc. Let me just have a quick look that my audio level is good. And by the way, if you like to let me know how it is, please do so. I'll follow the chat in the site as well. I just have to switch back and forth to get there. Which is actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's actually go in here. Can we go in here somewhere else? No, never mind. Let's just do it here on the other screen. That's fine. A quick sound check. Yep, sound should be nice and good, I hope. By the way, if you have any questions during the presentation, I'll let you know already right now. Feel free to put it in the side chat that we have. And again, if you are right now here at imqa.us/m2, if you're directly at that page, please log in through one of your membership accounts at either ViralURL, ViralinBox, ViralHosts, or ViralURL. And all those 4 sites, simply put at the end a /m2.php, and then you can log in directly into the marketing meetup chat. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. What is Jollow.com all about? Number one, it's a site that is there basically to help you as a website owner. That's the main purpose of it. And it has a secondary purpose for those people that don't have yet a website. It helps them to basically benefit more from this task that they do on a daily basis. And for example, as an affiliate marketer, if they don't own a site, they want to generate traffic, they want to get results from sites that they join, and Jollow actually gives them the ability to earn additional rewards from these tasks that they do on a daily basis already. Okay, let me show you first from the point of view of a site owner what Jollow actually can do. Jollow has 4 components to it, and basically once you're a member of it, by the way, again, it's not yet live, 5 days from now, just a little reminder. So once it's live and you join, it has, as a website owner, 4 components basically. Number 1, there's going to be the ability to create challenges, and challenges are activities that you want your site owners to do in exchange for winning those rewards. These additional things that they get on top of what they already get for doing these things on a daily basis they do. Like, for example, if you own a traffic exchange and you want your members to be more active surfing web pages, you could give them a reward for doing so on a regular basis, for example. Or if you, for example, own like me, a viral list mailer, and you want to make them more active in reading emails and clicking on email links, then you could, for example, give a reward for doing that, etc. But even, and here's the cool thing, even if you don't own a membership site yet, if you, for example, just simply have a blog out there, if you want to get your readers more active in coming back to your blog and reading more regularly, you can use Jollow to do exactly that as well and reward them in exchange. Now, so you can see already there are challenges and there are rewards. Now, what else is there? A challenge basically can be set up out of up to 3 tasks you want your website visitors, your members, your affiliates, etc. to do. The task can be either 1 task, 2, or 3 tasks, and the task can be with your own sites, but also with other sites that you don't own. For example, as a 2nd and 3rd task. Now, why would you want to do that? Why would you want your members to do tasks also on sites that you don't own? Number 1, you can use Jollow in that way to promote another site, because you can, of course, put your own affiliate link for the other site in there. But even more important is that you can, that way, create traffic to your own site from those other sites. Let me explain that in a little bit more detail. If you set up a challenge with multiple tasks, whereby the 2nd and 3rd, or 2nd or 3rd task are not from your own sites, every time you display that challenge on your own website to your own members, to your own affiliates, to your own visitors, etc., then and somebody clicks on the challenge and wants to take it, then the other site that you have in your joint challenge will owe you a click back. So you will get traffic from them back. They send traffic to a challenge that includes one of your tasks with one of your own websites in exchange. And that way you can get more results from your own site. You can get that 1 click on your site and can that way basically turn it in up to 2 more clicks from other sites back to a challenge that involves your own site again, so getting more traffic. Now, why all that stuff as an owner? Again, main reason will be for you as an owner not only to get your own visitors, affiliates, members, etc. more active, but you also want to get additional new visitors and new members and new affiliates, etc. for your own site through these other sites and through the Jollow system. Now, okay, before we go any deeper in this, let me just simply show you how this works. If you are an owner and you use Jollow, basically you can go here into the Manage Challenges section here and click on Create Challenge. Now, in Create Challenge, the first task of yours is to identify what sites you own. And in my account here, I already set up a couple of my own sites. As you can see, obviously when you first join Jollow, you don't have any of your own sites in there, and you can simply add them. There's going to be a button here, Add Your Domain. And basically you just add a domain by adding the domain name here at top. Let me just do this in this example. Let me just add the MyResponder Pro site, for example, here. That's a site, by the way, where I don't have a membership site. It's a simple sales page there. And yes, you can even use that kind of site to get more traffic to it. In my case, that would be ideal, of course, for some kind of added traffic, for people referring others to that site, etc. So to identify what kind of site you have, we're going to ask you a couple of questions, and that will determine also later on what kind of task types you can make available to your site. Obviously, if you, for example, if members can't log in, or if nobody can log into your site, tasks that are in relation to logging into your site won't make sense, right? So we don't show them then. But let's see, in my particular case, mailresponderpro.com, users can log in. No, in that case not. It's just a sales letter there and a video. Now with referral affiliates, I do have an affiliate program, but it's an external. So in this particular case, I don't want to use it, so I just leave it off. Then trackable activity, I don't really have that on that side, so I leave it on no. So that's kind of like the kinds of like a single sales letter without an affiliate program, without a members area, without anything that you really can track there in form of activities that people do at the site. Now it asks me for a unique identifier. In this particular case, I don't really need it since I don't have anything specific on the site that I want to track, so I leave it blank. Now they ask me for the widget display. Now, in quick words, what is a widget and what does it do for you? Now, the widget is basically a piece of code that we provide you with as a Jollow.com website owner that you then put on your website to display your own challenges, and if you want, also the challenges of other people on your site to earn traffic back. Remember, if you have, for example, a multi-challenge of somebody else on your site, somebody clicks on it, they now earn you a click, owe you a click back, so you gain additional traffic to your own site. Now let's have a look. We have the options between equal exchange, that's what I just explained, where when one click goes out, you get one click back to your site, or if it's one click out to a multi-site challenge, you get multiple clicks back. Then the next option here is to show only your own domain tasks, meaning it will only show those tasks on your website that are related to your own website. So any challenge that contains at least one task that is about your particular website will only show there. Or you can choose as an upgraded executive member in Jollow.com, you can choose don't display. That's, for example, for like here sales pages where you don't want to show the widget add-on there because the only thing you have on there is the sales page, and you don't want to take away, for example, from there, from your conversion rate by sending people somewhere else. So then this one would make sense. Now you still have to add the widget code to that website in that case, and that's just there so you can show us and we can see that that website actually belongs to you. That's our way of identifying who the owner is of a particular site, so there's no way of people taking away sites from other people. Okay, and one little comment here, the widget code itself, all it's going to do is going to put information out there, and it's going to count the number of page loads from your site. There's no information being transferred otherwise than just the counting of how many times it has been loaded on the web page. Okay, now let's put it to equal exchange in this case and save here the domain details. Now on the next page here, it kind of gives us the widget code. It's the one here right at the top. You can just simply click on it anywhere, and it copies this to your computer, so you can then paste it into your own web page. And you can also customize the code. Let me actually skip this right now. I'll show you later on how it looks like, how to customize this. Now let's move on in how to create this challenge. So we now added a domain. Now we choose it. Let's choose the one that we just added, the MailerResponder Pro, and then go to the next step. And now it asked me to choose what kind of task we want to do. Again, as I said, I didn't say any particular type of that we don't have a membership area, they don't have an affiliate program, and we also have not any trackable activities. So in this case, I'm only going to have two options of either referring unique visitors or visiting the page. Let's actually choose refer unique visitors because I want to get people that come to my page and take the challenge to refer other members to this web page. And I have an idea what I want to do. I want to get them to refer just, let's say, 2 unique visitors every day, so daily or total. In this case, I chose daily, so it's for let's say 5 consecutive days. So a total of 10 visitors, unique visitors, they need to refer. I could also say total. That would mean that they need to get 2 visitors, unique visitors, within 5 days. But in this case, let's choose daily. Now it shows me here my own Jollow balance, and Jollers within Jollow.com are basically our internal currency. Obviously not US dollars, it's Jollers in this case. But you can actually trade this in for cash at some point, or use it to actually claim other people's rewards. But more on that a little bit later on. Make sure to quickly look over if there's any questions. So far, they just said sounds good. Okay, let's move back. By the way, if you have any questions, just put it in the text chat, and I'll cover them as soon as I see the question. Now let's move on. So you can, if you don't have anything of a reward that you can give your own, visitors, affiliates, or members, if you don't have your own kind of reward, what Jollow allows you to do is to give our internal currency in form of dollars, and then members can trade it against rewards in our global rewards area. More on that again also later. That's going to be under the Take Challenges area. Now let's move on. So let's say I don't want to give any dollars, but I have an idea. I want to give a custom reward and a brand new one. There's some that I already added before. Let's just add a brand new reward that you can create for any of your sites. Let's click on Add Reward. And this reward, what I want to give them is a coupon code that gives that basically helps them to claim or buy this product that they have at the website at a discount. Let's say the reward name is let's say 20% off Attribute Mail Responder Pro. Let's say that's the coupon. Let me just spell that right. And then simply enter the following coupon code, the provided, let's call it provided coupon code in the order form. And it's good if you can spell. Simply enter the provided coupon code in the order form at http mailresponderpro.com to receive a 20% discount on the purchase price. Okay. And then credits. In this case, we can also choose if this reward, if that gives them our internal Jollow credits here that I use to for participants, for example, to get additional active challenges going at the same time. Like, every member of Jollow, every participant, which is by the way free to join, can use those credits to get additional, get more than 5 active challenges going at the same time. Or for website owners, those credits will be useful to publish challenges as well. So, but in this case, let's say we don't want to get credits, we want to give a coupon code. And since I don't have one really at hand, I just put it in here right now, coupon code example. So obviously that needs to be later on the correct, I need to change this later on to the correct coupon code. I don't have it right now on me, that's okay. And now the download link does not really apply in this case. So we don't put a download link in there, but we have an access URL. And that's gonna be, actually let's send them straight back to the sales page. That's why we put an access URL in this case. And do we need to limit the URL? No, we don't need to. By the way, limiting, it means that simply if you want them to be able to only click on the link once only and never again, it's just gonna you put it on yes. Otherwise, you leave it like me on no, and then they can access either the download link or the URL, access URL, as many times as I want to. Also, good to know is, by the way, that these 2 URLs inside our system are gonna be cloaked. So if you put a secret access URL in here that you don't want them to pass on, our system actually cloaks it, protects it, and only gives the reward winner or somebody who claimed that particular reward for dollars the ability to access it. Nobody else will be able to. Also, if they pass that link that they get, if they pass it on, nobody else will be able to access this through that link. So you're protected that way. Now let's pick here next, does my reward require manual delivery? In my particular case, since I give them a coupon code, it does not require manual delivery. If you, for example, want to give them something that requires you, for example, to manually add them to your members area, to manually upgrade them, or to give them a trial upgrade or something, or give them something that involves your, you personally doing this for them, then you would set it to yes, and Jollow would then inform you when somebody claims that reward or earns that reward. If it can be completely automated, you can just leave it on no. That's what I will do. Now the next parts are about offering your rewards in a local base, in a local rewards area, or in a global rewards area. Now, what's local rewards and what's global rewards? Local rewards in this case is simply that any Jollow participant who successfully finished or completed a challenge that involves one of your tasks. Those can be your own challenges or the challenges of other people that included one of your tasks in their challenges, if you allow that, by the way. More on that later on. There will be an option later on. If somebody does that and somebody wins one of your rewards, they will have access to all your local rewards. So you can put things in that you basically want to make available in exchange for dollars. I'll just show you here. If you click on yes, it asks me how many dollars will it cost the participant to claim this reward. So this is not about now adding this reward to this particular challenge that we're setting up now. This is to put it in addition also to the local rewards pool. Now, if you choose, for example, my reward, they can have this one for $50 if they're local, if they're local, winner of or a completer of one of my challenges, or sorry, one of my tasks, which is part of a challenge, then they have access to this. And then the global reward is simply will make your reward available to anybody out there. So if you put it in global rewards and put something in there, then you can make it available to any participant in Jollow, no matter if they ever did a challenge that involved any of your tasks or not. Now, in this particular case, just put it in there. I would usually recommend just to put it a little bit more expensive in there at a higher cost, so it becomes cheaper to your local participants than to the global ones. But it's up to you. You can make it the same price. You could even make it cheaper for a global reward. It's totally up to you. Now let's save this new reward. We're getting back to the page where we had been before. And now let's add this reward, select it down here as the reward for this particular challenge that we're setting up. So the next two options that you need to choose is number one, the approval process. And that's about other owners in Jollow adding your tasks to their own challenges. If you're fine with that, and you want as much traffic as possible, I recommend to keep this on automatic. Now, if you want to prevent that certain site owners get access to your tasks or can use your tasks in their challenges, then you could set it to manual approval. And if somebody tries to add your task, Jollow will ask you for permission first, and then you can either accept or deny. That's up to you at that point. Now, why is this in here? I personally will probably put it on automatic all the time, but some members that maybe don't understand yet that we have this, fair exchange in our system where if they send you one click, you send them one click, or other way around. If you send them one click, they send you one click. If they send you one, somebody taking a challenge and they send you back somebody who takes your challenge in return, a challenge that contains your task. Since we have this fair exchange in there, we take basically the fear away from big site owners wondering if they would over-deliver to all the small site owners. So a big guy out there can easily play together and do a joint challenge with a small site owner and still keep it very fair for both sides. And on the other side, for the small site owner, it takes away the fear of rejection from the big site owners, because especially if the big site owners put it on automatic, all they do is they add a challenge, include a big site owners to their small site, and there will be no worries at all them getting the traffic back from them that they sent to the big site guys, and we all have a win-win-win. Now, how does it work if a big site owner can send, let's say, 1,000 clicks out over a certain time period, and a small site owner can in the same time period only send 10 clicks out? It's very simple. Basically, the big site owner then sends the 1,000 clicks spread out over a bunch of smaller sites, let's say 100 sites. And all those 100 smaller sites send them that can only send in the same time period 10 clicks back, send them each 10, giving him the 1,000 back. So basically, we all double our traffic that way, simply by keeping this on approval on automatic. Now, next option here is offer at your own site. And that's simply if you want to provide, for example, give a challenge, or you make a challenge that say, sign up for my site. That if that's, for example, a challenge that you want to give, then obviously it doesn't make sense to show it to your members in their site, right? Because they already signed up. So you would then choose no here to not show that. Or if you have another reason for not wanting to show your own challenge to your own on your own site, then you can simply set it to no. Otherwise, you leave it on yes, and then people at your own site can see your own challenges. Let's now save the new domain task. And this was now the first task. Now it's asked me if I want to add, actually, sorry, let's move on. Selected that one, yes. Now let's move on to next step. And now it asks me if I want to add a second task. And it shows me up here, my task 1 is to refer 1 unique visitors per day to mailresponderpro.com for 1 day. Oh, did I not change it to 5? Let me update that later on. Actually, let's go back right now and fix it up. You can do that at any time simply by using the top navigation here. Let's click here on Edit Selected Tasks. Let's fix up my mistake. Oh yeah, I left it on 1 by mistake. I think I wanted to add it 5 days. Now I update the task. Oh, okay, I see. Let me just move back one more time. I actually managed to lock myself out there. No problem. Let's go quickly back through there. Choose the domain. Choose the task. Actually, looks like we're having a little bug in here. No problem. I'll note that and fix it up right after this call. Yeah. Yeah, I see that problem. Okay, no problem. We'll fix that later on. So let's just use the task the way it is right now. And I'll fix that later. Anyway, little introduction, a little presentation problem. Good for me to see where the mistakes are, so I can fix them before we go live with the site. Now, ask me again, what second task I want to use. And let's say in this particular case, I don't want to have a second task, but if I wanted to have a second task or a third task, I choose first the second, continue then with using the green button, and then I will be given the option to add a third task. And these tasks are, by the way, not just my own tasks, as you can see here, my Frank Bauer task, but they are also tasks from other members in the system. And I can see here right away task status. My own task might not be ready yet. More on that one a little bit later on, but those of other members, it only shows the ones that are ready right now of other members. And I can see how many actions happened from that particular task from that side, and when the last action happened. And this is important for you to see, that you see that's an active site, that there's something happening, so they can send you later on traffic back as well, right? If you send them traffic, so they send you traffic back as well. And obviously, if it's a more active site, you know that it's easier to get traffic. Now, by the way, with any lists within Jollow, you can at any time always do a search by simply going in the bottom field. And for example, let's say I want to see any things that have jump in there, like list jumper, or I want to have things that have Matt in there, like Matt Koshko. Let's see if there's something with Darren. I don't know. Yeah, Darren Olander, for example. So you can really quickly search through. Of course, you can also sort those fields by task description, who added them, by the status, by the number of actions. Let me just do this here. See, the top one here is Sean, 190,000 actions, and also by when the last action happened. See, this is an really old one. Last action was the 22nd of May. Here's the some that didn't have any actions so far. Let's see, have a look. There's the first one. The most recent action is right, this one. So you could select one here, and then if in this case, if you just want to have a challenge that has only one task, like for this example, let's just keep it at one task. We click here on Don't Add Additional Tasks, and then we get to the last page of the Create Challenge setup, and can then choose here what the challenge name is supposed to be. In this case, the system already put something in there that it automatically generated, but you can of course update it, change it, make it sound more exciting, more interesting. But obviously, you want to keep it, true to the point. You don't want to change it in a way that it's misleading, of course. But here you can go in here because, by the way, if we catch these kind of things, obviously we'll act and take the appropriate action then. If somebody tries to mislead in here. Anyway, now we have here this challenge: win a 20% off at Mail Responder Pro, and simply refer one visitor per day and I'll fix it up later. So I'll change the text already in here every 5 days. Oh, actually, let's leave it for now. I'll fix the whole thing up later. So we can adjust it, change it as we want, or just leave it the way it is. Then we choose when is the challenge going to start. And so it can start today or at some point in the future. And how long do you want the challenge to go? Do you want it to go a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? You can choose basically between 1 day or 2 days and 30 days in here. Let's put it the longest possible. And as you will see here, depending on how long it's on, the cost of the cost of credits will change. Let's say, for example, this one is like a 1-task challenge that runs for 30 days. That will be 2 credits. And by the way, as a upgraded, owner inside of Jollow, like as a associate, a professional, or an executive, those are the 3 upgraded levels in here. You will be able to choose. You will be able to receive a certain number of credits automatically every single month that you can use for publishing challenges. And of course, additional credits will be available to those that need more. Let's see now. Or you can also earn them with finishing challenges from other people that give credits as a reward. Another tip, by the way. Now, anyway, if you choose a time period, for example, that's less than, let's say, up to 2 weeks, I believe. Let's see, today's the 2nd. Let's put it there. And there's 2 tips, by the way, are going to change. They're going to go underneath so they don't bother guys anymore, like being in the way, like here for me right now. As you see now, it's less than 2 weeks. It goes down to the credit cost to just 1 credit. But let's keep this on the long time period for now. Now, the challenge end type is there. We have 2 options here. One's going to be the option for putting it at the earliest time or specific. Now, what's the difference between those? Earliest means that simply whatever the challenge start date is, it will depend, of course, when you added those widget codes, and if you need a tracking code. This particular challenge doesn't need a tracking code, but if you need a tracking code, I'll show that to you a little bit later on. Once those 2 elements, the widget code and the tracking code, are added to your site, then the challenge can become published. Now, if you haven't added these things to your site yet, obviously it can't be published yet, and so the date can actually be pushed forward, right? I mean, if I choose starting today, but I'm not going to set it up, not going to add the codes to the site by, let's say, for another 5 days, then it won't start for another 5 days. And when it then starts 5 days later, by choosing the option challenge end date earliest, that means that also the challenge end date will be moved forward, and you get still the exact number of days that you chose. Now, if you have for any reason that you want the challenge to finish latest at a certain date, because, for example, you give this 20% off, for example, is only available a certain time period, then you could choose specific, and then no matter when the challenge starts, it will always end on the challenge end date and never later. So you can make sure that the end date is on time. In my particular case, I don't mind if it goes longer, so I choose simply earliest, and in most cases that will be probably the better option to choose for you. Now, the next option here is to show your challenge also on other member sites that are not chosen above, and we're talking about on sites that are totally unrelated to your tasks that you have on top. Remember, you can have up to 3 tasks, so on those 3 sites it will be shown for sure already, but you can also choose to show your challenge or to allow your challenge to be shown on other sites. And personally, I think, of course, that makes all the sense in the world, because you want more traffic, right, to your own site. So you would leave this on. But if this is something that you want to offer only to your internal members and you don't want anybody else in the world to know about the challenge, then you can set it to no in that case. Now, next point is going to be the credit balance. That's your current balance in the account, and gives you, of course, the option to buy additional ones, or again, as I mentioned, you can simply earn credits by finishing challenges, or you can get credits as part of your upgraded membership level. Credit blocks simply shows you how many credits of yours, in my case 784 here, how many of those are blocked for challenges that are added before but that have not yet been published. Basically, we are just making sure that you can't overspend on credits that way. And last one is the cost for this particular challenge. So let's just click now on Save the Challenge. And that's the whole thing. It added a challenge, now it's in the system, and it basically gets us back to the first screen, adding additional challenges if we want to. Now, instead of doing that, let me show you more of the members area. The next section right under here is our challenges list, and here you simply see those challenges like the one that I just added here, shown as inactive right now. Now, it's supposed to start today. Now, let's have a look. Why is it inactive? So I just simply click on the inactive button, and it tells us. So let's see, this challenge is inactive because the domain widget code for the first task hasn't been called yet. And that's because obviously I haven't added it yet. I just added the challenge brand new. So we can go here into the domains list and get the challenge widget code for that domain to add it to your site. And here at this point, I show you also now how you can customize your widget code. Remember, I told you before you can do that when it showed to that, but I didn't want to go right away in it. Now, what you can do here is you choose things like the color of the widget, the framing and the buttons to fit your personal site theme. And we might add more as time goes on here, as we get feedback from our users. So if you have feedback later on that you want a certain design for your site, we can simply add them here for you guys to use. Now, also we have the option to put like links to the challenges underneath there. So you can put like yes, and then it puts the link to the particular challenge underneath here. Now, one thing to notice, if you put a challenge on your site, and if it's a multi-site challenge or it shows some other site challenges on there and it puts the links underneath there, it will give you credit for the click. If somebody clicks either on Take Challenge or on any of the links on the bottom, links to other sites than your own, then you will earn a click back to your own one of the sites that you own, or one of the challenges that includes one of your tasks in exchange. So you earn traffic as you give traffic, these things. But if you want to keep it very focused, in my particular case, I'm gonna put this on a sales page, or at the bottom of the sales page, in the footer somewhere of that page. So I'm gonna choose the option no here, because I don't want to put additional links on there, just the Take Challenge one. Now you can also choose the size of the widget. So like, this is the standard 600 by 150 pixels, and you have a skyscraper version where it's 150 times 600, more squarish type with 300 by 300, or 200 by 150, a little smaller. Now keep in mind, if it's a very complicated description in here, a long one for 3 tasks, for example, it might end up having a little bit screwball on the side. So I personally would recommend to choose a bigger size if possible. But if this is all the space you have, you can choose one of these size challenges as well. Just notice this one is a bit too short here. I need to fix that up later. And so you can pick the one, let's say I can pick the one 600 by 150. So I can simply click on the code down here. It copies this to my computer again. I can paste it wherever I need to use it. Now, what else do we have? In the challenges list, you also have the ability to edit the challenge again, as long as it's not yet published. Then you can, for those that are published, you can pause them or expire the challenge if you change your mind about it. You can yourself take the challenges if you want to. Then you have the ability to expire challenges here that are currently paused. If you pause them, you can unpause them afterwards. Let me actually just do this. I click on this, and now this pause the challenge, and now this one is paused, and then I can go in here again and publish it again. It's as simple as switching back and forth between the pause and the publish status. Now, what else can we do here? If a challenge is expired after the time is over, you can simply click on Republish Challenge and then either leave it the way it was before or modify it and then simply republish it. In the next section here, we have the domains list again that I showed you before. And besides getting the challenge widget code, of course, you can change the domain settings here if you want to. Let's go back here to the tasks list. Remember, the challenges are set up out of 1, 2, or 3 tasks. Here you see you can see all the tasks that you personally set up. And remember, in the list, you can narrow it down by searching or going from page 1 to page 2, or choosing how many entries you want to show at one time, etc. Now in here you can simply edit the tasks as it's available. Once they become, once they are, when they're in a published challenge and the challenge is already out there, you can't edit it anymore. But before it's published, you can still go in here and edit it. Now, if you don't want to offer a particular task anymore, you can archive it at any time, and you can get the task tracking code. Now, the task tracking code for the challenge that we just set up as an example, there was none because it was just about referring visitors, and we'll provide then tracking links for that purpose, so you don't have to add any task tracking codes to your website for that. That's the easiest way of adding a challenge with Jollow. But if you want to add a more complicated challenge or task, for example, like logging into your members area, or you want to give that as a challenge, log in once every day, etc., or referring members, or referring or doing like clicking on the traffic exchanges, or clicking on links in emails, etc., etc. In that case, you need to add a specific task tracking code to your website. And basically, if you're not a programmer or the guy or the person developed that website, you would pass that task on to the person who does that, or outsource it to somebody like a programmer, or outsource it to us if you want. We will probably give the ability to hire us to get this done. Now, let me just show you how a task tracking code looks like. It's just simply this one piece of code here, this one line here, and it simply gets added in your website at the position of where that task has just been done. So, for example, if you want to track logins, it would be called at the point when somebody logs in. If you want to track signups, it would be tracked at the point when they sign up. In the most like a PHP page that is executed when that happens. Again, this is about programming, but don't be too worried about this. We will make very simple tutorials available as we create them that shows you how to integrate these task tracking codes. Then we of course recommend that you give this task to the person who developed your web page. If you are the one, or somebody else, that somebody else did it for you, right? Or we will give you the ability to outsource that task to us to get this ready. Or you can get somebody from Fiverr, Rent-A-Coder, or actually Rent-A-Coder is on there, freelancer.com, etc. Just simply to get this task integrated. It's one line of code. It's not that difficult. The most difficult part is actually finding out where you need to put it, but we'll give you tutorials that show you how to find out about that. And if you have somebody on staff or somebody at hand that did the development for you, they will know where to put it on your website. Okay, but enough on that one. So that's about the task list. Now there's the last section down here in the manage challenge area. That's the rewards list. And as you could guess already, as you probably have guessed already, you can edit rewards in there and archive them if you don't want to offer them any further. Last section here, the pending rewards, is something for owners that need to manually, that shows to add rewards that need manual delivery. And here is one example we put in here. Matt Koshko claimed a video web page review. And so now what I can do is to contact the participant, let them know how this works, etc. Or set it, once I provided it, set this to provided. Let's click here on contact participant, and then now it lets me in our internal system, put a subject line in, edit the body of the email or the internal mail, and then send it straight to the person that claimed the reward and get this sorted out with them. Now let's move on to the take challenge area, and that's actually an area that it's more important for the participants that use Jollow, the free participants, than for the owners. But actually, let me have a quick look if there's any questions so far over here in the side chat. No, none so far. That's okay. So we move on. Now let's have a look here in the take challenge sections. Now, first options there, of course, to browse challenges, and those people that are participants can then here choose what kind of challenges they want to do. And I just noticed here's something that we need to fix up. Obviously, the get challenge link, etc. shouldn't show here in just the take challenges. So I'll fix it up after the call. I just noticed it shows here, it shouldn't show here. So please ignore this little buttons here at the point. They will not be there anymore once the site goes live. What you're going to have in here is just the take challenges and the successful finished options. Now, successfully finished simply means that I took this challenge before and I successfully finished it. So meaning as a participant, I wouldn't have to do it again, obviously. Now, any challenge that I haven't taken so far, I can click here on the Take Challenge button and simply take the challenge. Let me just have a look which one we can use as an example. Let's do this one. Simply sign up to ViralPLR.com within 3 days to win $3. Let me just click here on Take Challenge. And now it asks me here, I put, by the way, my ID in here, but it asked me here, enter your new account email address for ViralPLR.com. The reason, by the way, why it showed my ID in there is because I took before, the time before, another challenge with this site that is for members. Obviously, if I'm a member already, I wouldn't join it again, right? So I wouldn't do this challenge in this case. But for somebody who's not yet a member, for them, this challenge would be ideal to join your site, right? To earn an additional reward while joining your site. Now you can here enter your new account email address. So I would put in the email address that I would use to join it. Let's just put it test.com for right now. Obviously, there needs to be the real address that you would join as a person, as a participant would enter the address that they use when they sign up for your site. Now, there's no links to your site yet because, as it says down here, start the challenge before you sign up for ViralPLR.com. This particular challenge type where you ask for a sign up, obviously we need them to sign up after they took the challenge, not before, because we need to know what email address they use to sign up so we can track that kind of thing. Let's say save participation details and start challenge. Awesome, you agree to take the challenge. Repeats again what you need to do. Your task is to sign up ViralPLR.com within 3 days with your new email account, email address, test.com. Now, if I notice, oh shoot, I gave a fake one. That's not really real. Let's put my real in here. That's now test@gmail.com. Obviously, it's not a real one either, but Gmail, well, whatever. Now they can update it quickly if they did a mistake. So they updated it, and we actually go back there. Let's see. Simply sign up to, there it is. Let's go to my details again. Now it repeats again what to do, and now there's a link that I can click on and that I can then use to join that site with that email address I provided. So that's how it works about taking challenges as the participant in a nutshell. Obviously, if there's a multi-site challenge like that has 3 tasks in there, they'll have these, the descriptions of all 3 tasks or 2 tasks, and then we'll ask them about the details here. Now, with that particular challenge that I added as an example, that was about referring visitors to my mailresponderpro.com. They wouldn't have to enter anything at the bottom, but instead it would give them here now the specific tracking URL they need to use to refer these people over to mailresponderpro.com, and the tracking would be completely done within Jollow.com in this case. Now let's move on to the challenge history that you just saw for a second there. In the challenge history, participants can simply see the challenges that are currently in process that they need to finish. They can see also the stats on how far they are with them. And in my example, I probably didn't do anything with any of them. But let's have a quick look if I'm lucky. Oh, I did something on this one here. Good. So I can show you some data. So it shows me now in this particular challenge. It's a challenge that lasts over 7 days. So far, 3 days are over, and the goal is to serve 5 days. To serve 5. Let me just check quickly. What is it? Refer 5 new members to ViralNugget, or to refer 5 new members to ViralNugget, and I haven't referred anybody yet. So I can see here from the actions taken. So far, I did 0 out of 100% that I need to complete this challenge, and here on the time, so far 51% of the time are past that I have to finish the challenge, and 49% I have left over. So you can see some stats on how you're going. Obviously this one would tell me that I need to get into gear quicker and get my 5 referrals to win this challenge, to get my 10,000 ViralNugget.com mailing credits, etc. So that's for participants to see where they're standing, how they're doing, etc. Now underneath as a participant, you can see how many or the challenge that you've completed so far, and where you've successfully finished the tasks, and then you can look at the stats from those particular challenges. And at the bottom you see the expired challenge, where I wasn't able to finish it. lots of one of right now for my testing. And again, I can see the stats, where I went wrong. And the claim reward section is basically where you then can access to your rewards that you won. The ones that you earned by finishing challenges, can access them here. Then you have the ones that you can access where you traded in dollars for the rewards. And that's about the local and the global rewards that we offer here. Local rewards that are available at this time will be shown down here in this list, in my particular case none. And the global rewards that are available to all participants in Jollow will be visible down here. There's only right now one only I claimed. The other two that were there, obviously just examples in here at this point of time. But I can simply trade them in for dollars and then get them that way. And for you as a site owner, this is another way of getting traffic to your site, or signups or sales. Now let's move on to the next area, which is statistics, which is really cool. Quick look again at the chat. No questions here right now. Again, remember, if you have any questions, just put them in there. No problem at all. And I'll cover them here. Now let's see, in the statistics area, we have number one, the challenge stats. These top four, by the way, challenge, task stats, domain stats, and reward stats are only available obviously to the site owners that added them, to the members that have owner status. Basically, if you add a challenge, you have access to that challenge data. If you add a task, you have access to the task stats, etc. If you added the domain, to the domain stats, etc. So we can see in here now for all the challenges that I added to the system, a bunch of data. Like for example, number one, how many views did that particular challenge get? And this can be views on your own widget bars or on those of other members, for example. So all together, how many clicks did it get? How many times did people click on the links, either underneath it if they are shown or on the take challenge button there? How many takes? How many people took the challenge? Then how many? And by the way, if there's no clicks but they have takes, that means that they took it in the members area. The clicks in the members area, we don't count extra. This is just about clicks from external sites outside of Jollow. Now the takes, that's the total number of takes for the challenge. How many are currently in progress, how many were completed, and how many times did somebody fail to finish it. And then you can go into more details by clicking any of these buttons. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if there's any data in any of them. So let's have a look if I find one quickly. I don't know if something is on here. Oh yeah, there, very good. Okay, so now with this particular challenge, I can see again the data that was on the page before, on top here. And then underneath you see it in graphical format. You see the views that you got to the page over the last 30 days. You see the clicks, well in this case the one on, the takes, the number of challenges in progress, the completions and the fails in here as a graph stat over a graph bar over a period of up to 30 days. Now underneath here you see the views to takes chart. So you see how many views were there that didn't get any clicks, how many clicks were there that didn't result in taking the challenge, and how many takes were there. So you can see the distribution. Obviously you want to get the takes as high as possible and the clicks. Next is going to be the takes to results chart that shows simply the percentage of in progress versus completions versus failed. In this particular case there's not much data in there, but you see these details here over 30 days, and that's total data down here at the bottom. Now in the next section, the task stats, you can see that kind of information again on the task by task level. So you see the number of views it got, the number of clicks, takes, in progress, completions, fails, and in addition here with tasks, you see the total number of actions that were taken on the page. So for example, this particular task here, logging in at ViralHosts.com, have received so far 5,428 takes. And then again, you can go into the task stats. Well, didn't get any views. Let's see if you get another one. If I have one with more data, that's a bit more interesting. Let's go into this one here. Yeah, there's some data in here. And that's about signing up in ViralPLR.com in the last 3 days. sign up to ViralPLR within 3 days. And I guess I removed the tracking code at some point because it went down to nothing there. I have to check into that later on. But it's, by the way, a good point for using the graphic also to see if everything's working so properly. So if the bar suddenly flatlines at some point, maybe you remove the task tracking code or a widget code, etc. And then again, you see the other data about views to takes and then takes to results as well in this graphic. Let's move on to the domain stats. Now in the domain stats, just quickly have a look here. Yeah, domain stats, you see again the views per domain, the clicks, the takes, but you see on top of this is what we call IOUs. And that's, by the way, IOU stands for, well, I owe you. And that simply is keeping track of your exchanging of traffic with other site owners. So if you display a task of another site on your widget, or a whole challenge that completes like 1, 2, or 3 tasks of other sites on your challenge, you can earn IOUs for each of the sites that is not your own, or each of the tasks that's not your own, that's displayed on your widget. So every time you do that and you get somebody clicks on it, you have an IOU click initiated. And in return, they owe you now a click, that they need to repay you with a click. And that's shown in the back here, the IOU click repaid. And then there's the IOU take initiated, and then the IOU take repaid. Now, these numbers don't always match up simply because it can be that if I owe, for example, in ViralURL, I do an initiation of 1, but I did 2 down here, and I get them repaid to this site. So the repaying doesn't necessarily come back to the exact same site of yours, but to one of your sites, meaning to one of your tasks that is with one of your sites. So basically, if you put multiple sites into the system, multiple tasks, then the traffic you send out to whatever site out there, to whatever task out there, comes back to you to one of your sites. So you get the total number back. So you'll see here, for example, that we sent so far 3 out, got 4 back. So basically we owe 1 here now. So we need to send 1 more back. And then it's basically balanced out in the system. So the amount of traffic is always going to be the same amount that you send out that you receive back. And by actually sending out to multiple sites, you can actually increase your traffic, get more back than you send out by having multi-tasks shown that have more than one other task of another site owner in the widget bar. Now let's move on to, actually let's have a look here. There's some stats. So we look at this one, for example. Again, you see the stats here of over the 30-day period on top of the total, and then underneath you see the view to text chart again. Now let's move on to the reward stats. That one is actually pretty simple. It simply shows all your rewards, how many times was it claimed, meaning somebody exchanged dollars in exchange for it, and how many times was it completed. So meaning somebody finished the challenge that you had, or a challenge that contained a task that then provided that reward to them. And then you can see, of course, again, the reward stats. If you go in here, and here I only have on 1 day stats, so that's not really an interesting graphic here. But if you have over the last 30 days, you see the trend here. And again, the claims to completion stats down here. Now let's move on to the community stats. Now the community stats and the My Stats area are available to all members of Jollow, so to participants as well as to site owners. Now in this particular case, you see again the last couple of days. I believe it's, yeah, I think it's up to 30 days, but if there's like days where there was no data, that's why it shows longer at this point of time. But basically the last 30 days with data, it always shows. And we see in here the amount of takes of challenges site-wide and the number of completions on a particular day. So people can just simply see this data by hovering over here for each day. And on top here, you see live updating, and I don't know if it's going to, yep, there it just happened. You see that data like how many people joined during the last X days to Jollow. Obviously, since we haven't launched it, 0. Then how many active domains do we have currently in the system? How many active tasks? How many published challenges? How many total views? And that's in regards to widget loads on other members' websites. And we already integrated this in our own sites, but at this point, obviously, we're not showing it because we haven't launched Jollow yet. And the last one is about the total number of actions taken. Basically, what we do there, we count together for all the tasks in the systems, how many actions did happen for each single one, and it's the total number, just to still show you what kind of activity is going on within Jollow community or the sites that are part of Jollow. Now let's move on to the My Stats area. This is going to be about the participation. Now you can see here how many total challenges you have taken over your life or your membership in Jollow. You can see how many challenges are currently in progress, how many you finished successfully, and how many you failed so far. Now at the bottom here you see a graph, again over the last 30 days it will be, once there's not that much data. Right now I have less data in this particular account. You see here the top actions, like on a particular day, the member with the most actions, how many actions did he do in that day? And the average actions, so like the average member gets so many actions, and your own actions. In my particular case, 3. So I need to become more active. I see it from this one. Okay, so that's pretty much about the stats area. And by the way, as you can see here, with the stats, actually you have access to stats as an owner that might be even exceeding those stats that you see in your own members area of your own site. So that's something I'm really excited to use for myself in the future. Now the sections below here are simply the affiliate section, and that's still a work in progress. The referral tools we still need to add here. Then you can see the direct referrals you did. Again, just look at that one. Just refer myself as a test here. Again, you have the same kind of ability here like on the other pages. You can search the results in here, you can sort them around, choose the number of entries shown, etc., etc. Get some details here about your conversion rates, etc. So that's right here for you available. Then there's going to be the earnings section. That's again still, I believe it's work in progress. Let me just have a look. Yeah, I still need to finish this one here. There's going to be contests available, again work in process. And now the next section, marketplace, is, by the way, where members will be able to get additional credits if they need to, get additional dollars if they need to, and of course sell the dollars if they want to, trade them in for cash at the end. And the way it's going to work is that when people sell their dollars, the dollar amount will simply be added to their due amount here, so it will be paid out with the next commission payment. That's just to keep it simple. So if you claim, oops, should have clicked that one, because that one hasn't been done yet. Okay, so no, that got me off track a little bit. Now again, this section needs to be finished, and contest as well. Now let's move on marketplace. That's actually where I was, right? So we have the ability to sell the dollars, and then at the bottom to claim coupon codes as we make them available within dollars. And final option down here will be about membership. And actually, let me not go there. Let's move away back because the text, the add copy on there wasn't finished yet. So that's going to be where you'll be able to upgrade your account if you like to, or downgrade, etc. Now, at the very top, really quickly, what you have is your profile. That's where you set up your details about your account. You see messages, like our internal messages. Participants see there, for example, if they finish the reward that they can claim it now, or if they didn't finish it, they tell them why they went wrong. And for owners, it gives information about the rewards that they need to manually deliver, etc. Now there's a support area, of course, our support area. Our blog is here and logout, but that's pretty much it. Now we just have another quick look and see if there's any questions. No, so far it just sounds good still. That's good to hear. But if you have any questions now, let me know. And let me just switch quickly off camera here, or off screen share, back to camera. Here we go. Back here again. Now let's see. Is there anybody live on there? Because I'm pretty much through the sharing of the of Jollow. How that works. If there's any questions here, please let me know. So far, I don't see any. I see some people are checking right now, and some people are in the text chat. I see that. Well, let's move on. Actually, because we're already at the hour mark, let's move on to our Platinum account giveaway, like I promised before. Hey, you guys in there, I can be lucky to win one of our 6-month Platinum giveaways for any of our sites. So it's either about ViralURL at this point, ViralinBox, ViralHosts or ViralPLR.com, any of those sites. And you guys that are right now in there, all I need you to answer to me is in the text chat here is one simple question, and that is something that I mentioned the whole time during my presentation. With Jollow.com, you can be either an owner or you can be a what? What's the second thing that you can be? Basically, by the way, owners are also the second thing, but it's about owners that have websites and about beep, that word. Whoever puts that word in the text chat first wins the 6-month free upgrade to your site. So let's see who of you is going to enter it first there, and give you some time to answer it. And a little hint, that second word starts with the letter P. Okay, nothing hints. So if you give me that word, then you win the 6-month upgrade. And also let me know if you have any questions. And while I'm giving you a minute to enter it there, hope you're still listening, because then only if you listen and enter it now, you can win here. Then you can win this reward. Just get this sip of water quickly. Slowest typer in the world today here, it seems like. Let me just simply put it in the text chat too. Just make my screen a little bit bigger here. There's my text area at the bottom with my submit button. So to win the 6-month free platinum upgrade, please answer question in Jollow.com. There are our members are owners, site owners, and or P ... Let's see who's gonna answer that one first. What does P ... stand for? Okay. Anyway, well, if you didn't pay attention, I'll go through that one more time really quickly. And basically, what it can be is either a website owner to benefit from Jollow by getting more action to your site, to get more traffic, more signups, more sales, more visitors, affiliates, members, etc., customers. And you can also be in Jollow for free, 100% free, as a participant. Now I said it. So if you can't enter it now, then I don't know. Then you're probably not paying attention. Anyway, let's move on. So basically, that's what I wanted to share with you about Jollow. And again, the site will become available within the next couple of days. Plan roughly within the next 5 days. Let's see if I can get it finished. But then it's one more major thing that one more moving piece that I'm missing right now in Jollow, and that's basically the new integration of Stripe payment processing. I haven't used that payment processor before, so we'll do the integration for that. And once that's done, we are ready to open the doors to our initial beta testers. Right now, in Jollow.com, there's just Matt Koshko, Darren Olander, and me, Frank Bauer, and we have 2 alpha testers in there that have been testing for us in the beginning. And as you saw, little things still need to be ironed out. I'll do that right after the call. And then once the final piece is in the site, then we can go live with Jollow.com and start letting you in there as either a participant and or an owner. And I said it again, nobody answered yet. Guys, you need to pay attention. Well, if nobody answered, that's okay. Well, maybe next time we're gonna have again a winner of our 6-month free platinum upgrade. That's okay. Don't have to give it away if nobody wants it. Hint, hint. Well, I'll look a little bit longer in the text chat. I leave the text chat open for a little while, but if it needs to be here in the text chat, the answer. Otherwise, sorry. Anyway, okay, let's move on. Now, that's it for today's marketing meetup. By the way, if you have any questions also on any other topics that's not Jollow related, of course, you can ask them in here as well. So just type them into the text chat on this side of the screen there. And by the way, if you are at the live feed either at youtube.com or directly at imqa.us/m2, the old place where we used to stream this one, then make sure that you log in through one of our sites, and there are logins available at always for every marketing meetup from now on forward at www.com, either ViralURL.com or ViralinBox.com or ViralPLR.com or ViralHosts.com/m2, the number 2.php. And by the way, in the future, also at Jollow.com will be available there as well, the login. Okay, anyway, thanks a lot for being on the Marketing Meetup. Looks like nobody wants to claim the 6 months. Maybe they're all already upgraded. Well, that's okay, no problem. Anyway, see you again next time in the next Marketing Meetup, and thanks a lot for being on the call or watching the recording, and have a great day. Oh, by the way, remember to leave questions for us. You can log into this text chat at any time through the URLs I mentioned, and if you have questions for the next Marketing Meetup or topic suggestions, or maybe you want to be a guest on the next Marketing Meetup, let me know. Talk to you soon. Have an awesome day.
Thanks for meeting us in today's session. Share it with your friends. And join us again for the next Marketing Meetup on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Bye-bye.